Showdown, Showdown, Showdown. Just like last year, Showdown is a big mode that you need to kind of get your grasp on in MLB The Show 21. If you're someone who's trying to go for Team Affinity players, you're going to want to complete a lot of these Team Affinity Showdowns. They may seem a little overwhelming at first. It may be a little confusing on how the mode works. Maybe you're struggling with your drafts and how you're building your team, and maybe you can't even get them done. So today, I'm going to show you guys the best and easiest way to draft your team effectively, beat the Showdown easily, and just in general show you guys how efficient these Showdowns are when getting your Team Affinity cards. I completed about 4 of them in about 2.5 hours on stream today. In case you don't know, I do stream on Twitch. Check out that link down below. Come hang out, watch me do some more Showdowns and such. But just in general, I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to do Showdown and show you guys how you can complete your Team Affinity Showdown. Let's get into it. What is going on, YouTube? I appreciate all you stopping by. In case you do not know me, my name is Scann. I do MLB The Show tips, no money spent tips, gameplay tips, everything of that sort. So if you're trying to get better at MLB The Show, if you're a no money spent player, anything like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I'm uploading daily for the time being, and especially today, I've already uploaded 4 videos, so it has been a productive day on the channel here. So make sure you are subscribing, turning on those notifications so you see all the uploads I have. Also, like I said before, I do stream on Twitch this week. I'm streaming every day at either 1 p.m. or 11 a.m. EST. So if you happen to want to ask any questions, chill with us, make sure you stop by the Twitch channel, give that a follow, toss the notification bell on there too, so you know when I'm live. And yeah, that's basically it. Come hang out and have a good time with us. And now let's get right into the Showdowns. So basically with Showdown, the key with Showdowns is you have a set little path to follow. So we go to our Showdowns here. We go to our Team Affinity Season 1 Showdowns. So you have a path you have to follow here. These are little missions. You have a run deficit in the final Showdown, and each time you complete these missions, you are completing little parts of it and getting runs added to your total so you have less of a deficit. So for example, in this Team Affinity Showdown, the final Showdown, you are down 12-0. So if you draft your team and just skip right away, then that means you're going to have to come back with 15 outs and from a 12-0 deficit and score 13 runs, which is a little difficult. It's not the easiest thing to do. I don't even suggest doing that. But with these, you can do these little missions on the way up, do these little small things like get some extra base hits, get some strikeouts, things like that, and tally up these missions. First of all, you get stubs and rewards on the way, but you get good players and you get that deficit taken away. So you have less runs to score in the final Showdown. So, in general, you're going to complete these missions after you draft a team. I suggest you play as many of them as you can. I played through all the missions. They were very, very quick. Made that final Showdown a little shorter. All you have to do is score 1 run if you get all the missions done. And this mission here versus the bosses, you face a gold pitcher here, and you have to get like 3 runs against them. It's pretty easy, I still think. But if you lose this, you do have to restart from scratch. So there's a risk factor in playing your missions like this one. But I suggest that you play all of your missions. You're going to do every single little step leading up to the finals and get within a few runs, then skip into the finals whenever you're comfortable. That's the best way to go about it without losing stubs, because you do pay 500 stubs to enter. So you don't want to just do these over and over and over again and lose out on stubs. But before we get into that, I'm going to show you guys how you should draft your teams. I'm going to show you the best way to kind of build up your squad so you can beat the Showdown pretty easily. So there are a couple keys to the Showdown. First of all, you want to try to draft power. Look for any hitters that have good power. The reason that is so you can get as many homers as possible, and a lot of these moments require you to have extra base hits in a certain amount of innings. So you want to try to get those base numbers or extra base hits with guys with power. So you want to try to draft guys who have big power if possible. Also, you want to try to draft batters whenever possible. Some of these moments you get are pitching related, and as you'll see, the draft will give you an opportunity to draft a diamond starter and a gold reliever, and you draft those guys. Those should be the only pitchers you draft, but make sure you only draft batters after that point. You want to try to really stack your team with as many good hitters as possible, so when you're in the final Showdown, you can get a really good lineup together. Finally, positions really don't matter the most. Even for these submissions, you want to try to keep guys at primaries if possible, but if you choose the bigger bat and throw them out of position or like a secondary or something, and you're a little worried about using them for a lot of these missions, don't be. A lot of these missions are hitting related. If you're just hitting, you don't have to worry about fielding. You've got to worry about scoring your runs, getting your extra base hits, and getting your runners on. So choose the bats and put the good bats out there no matter what the position's in. So we're going to do a draft here, and I'll show you a little example of what I mean. Let's start draft, and let's see what we got. So here's our first draft here. All these guys are pretty solid. I mean, a lot of the 42 series players are very good. You really can't go wrong with them. But I'm going to choose Mike Yastrzemski. He's the best overall bat here. He has good splits versus lefties and 85 power versus righties. We're going to try to choose power. And while Dansby Swanson could be a nice option too, to like glitchy swing, all these guys could work. We're going to go for Mike Yastrzemski. He's got the best splits versus both sides. He'll be our first pick. Next one. Oh, we got an automatic one right here. Listen, if you have not tried his Joey Gallo, give this Joey Gallo a try. His contact's a little low, but trust me, you square up the ball, he destroys it. He has been an automatic pick for me in this showdown. Must pick here in this style of round. Now we have our pitcher, and honestly, you really can't go wrong with any pitcher. Pitching is very minimal in these showdowns, so you don't really need to overly worry about this. I'm just going to try Jack Flaherty, see where it takes me. Now we have our offense. Let's look for some hitting that we can fill out the team with. So here, they gave us Garrett Cole. We don't want to pick this Garrett Cole. This gold pitcher isn't going to help us at all, especially with how minimal pitching moments are. We're going to try to choose the best bat. Looking at Cliff Floyd here, he has 80 and 78 power. This card makes the most sense to choose just because he has good power versus both sides, the best of this bunch. And you could also throw him in the corner outfield. So we'll get Cliff Floyd. He's got the most power. Here's another interesting one. 3 guys have really good power. A lot of people would choose Luis Robert for his defense. And he's probably a good choice. But you really want to capitalize on hitting. You want to choose the best bat in this scenario. All 3 of these bats have really good power. You don't need to go for the exact number. For my use, Teoscar Hernandez has been really good for me in these. So I'm choosing him because he's got 80s power. He may not have 90 power versus righties or 93 versus lefties like Donaldson. But Teoscar's swing was doing very good. And honestly, he's one of those top couple options you want to draft for a gold. So we'll put Teoscar on the squad. Now is our automatic reliever round. Again, these don't really matter to most. There's no real wrong answer here. Just whoever you want to try. I'm going for Chris Martin here. So he has the good pitch mix. Now here we go. Like I said, we want to draft power. Gary Sanchez is a silver, 77 and 79 power versus both sides. Also at a valuable position to catcher, but positions don't really matter most for this. I'm going to put him at catcher. He will be our pick there. Here, Austin Riley is 99 power versus lefties. We're going to put him for that power. Rougned Odor, 80 power versus righties. Again, big power. You want to draft the big power whenever possible. Now is our perks. And these perks are little things that you can pick so you can have little abilities and extra boosts whenever you're doing your missions and your final showdowns. So we want to try to choose the perks that help us the most with hitting. First of all, hitting perks whenever possible. Second of all, we want to try to not choose perks that have some weird little niche thing based on the requirement of it. So, for example, exit velocity boost in the 7th inning or later. This may help us with our missions, but if by chance you need to use this in the final showdown, there aren't innings in there that doesn't really help. Outfielders throw much better when runners are on base. It's fielding. We don't want to choose that. Now we just have significant contact boosts on pitches down the middle, or exit velocity boosts on 2-strike counts. This one's going to be used more. If you get a pitch down the middle, you probably see those more than being in 2-strike counts. So I recommend going for inner piece. Now here's another one. Exit velocity boost while behind the count. That's not bad. Exit velocity boost with 0 outs. That's not the worst, but again, 0 outs in such a particular scenario, that's not the most useful. Increased speed while stealing when there are no outs. No, we don't want to do stealing. That's not really going to help us the most. We should do jump start. Contact boost in the first pitch of the at-bat. That's probably the most useful one, or down but not out. I like to swing aggressively when I do these, so I'm going to do jump start so I can swing those first pitches. Again, this one isn't the most useful, but either one of these are going to be pretty similar. Exit velocity boost behind the count, or contact boost on the first pitch of the at-bat. We're going to do jump start. Now again, slight exit velocity boost with no outs. We don't want to pick that. Contact boost with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Now that's not the most useful. Opponents make weaker contact. Again, that's pitching. We don't want that. Drag, bunt, boost with no one on base. See, we don't want to bunt either. Anything with bunting, you don't want to choose. You want to try to choose things that help you so when you put the bat in the ball, you hit the ball better or harder. And just looking at everything, this will make your PCI bigger with the bigger contact with runners in scoring position. This will just give you exit velocity boost with no outs. The exit velocity boost is probably more useful just so we hit the ball harder, find more gaps, things like that. So we'll go for leadoff magic. So yeah, there we go. There are our picks. Let's look at the squad here. Let's just adjust the team. See, this is why you want to focus on like what your players can do. If you can put players in secondaries, definitely do, but don't make a big deal if you can't. Obviously, bad fielding is bad fielding, but you can get away with having basically useless fielding out there. Just put guys out there that have the best hitting, and we got all of our best hitters out here on the field, and that's really what matters the most. And there's our team. We're going to use Jack Flaherty as our main starter, make sure our gold pitcher is in our reliever spot, and we're basically good to go. We're going to equip our perks. Now we're good to go. So a lot of these missions are pretty straightforward. A certain amount of bases, a certain amount of runs, a certain amount of hits, without giving up a certain amount of runs. So ideally, if you can score those runs or get the amount of hits in that first inning, that makes these moments a lot easier. They're quicker that way. Just in general, if you could just somehow avoid pitching, then you have that higher chance of just not losing it. The less you have to pitch, less runs you have a chance to give up. So whenever you have your hitting missions, you're going to want to do those and try to complete them in that first inning if possible. Really focus in that first 3 outs and try to get it done then. Here we have the Nationals playing the Braves. We just got to get a walk-off here. So we got to score 1 run in an inning basically. But just in general, you want to stack your best hitters that stop the lineup. I made a mistake by not even adjusting my lineup. Get all of your best hitters at the top of the lineup. You do not want these guys, your best hitter hitting 7th, for example. You want to get your best bats up as soon as possible. I made a mistake here on accident and actually forgot to adjust my lineup, so I may be screwed here. See, I already lost the mission because I forgot to adjust my lineup. Bad mistake by me. That is exactly why you need to adjust your lineup. Let me show you. I guarantee you, I'm going to adjust my lineup. I'm going to put my best hitters at the top of the lineup. And the rest of them, we're going to just absolutely bang through. Ready? Odor, Riley, Senzel's our worst bat. We'll leave him down there. Honestly, I'm going to put Brandon Nimmo out here. You only have a certain amount of outs to make. You really need to focus on locking in, getting your bats up ASAP. So now we got to not allow any hits in an inning. So all we have to do is just not allow a hit in this inning. This is where we use just our 42 series starting pitcher. This is why we only draft 1 pitcher. It's just going to use our 42 series one here. We're good to go. So the key with pitching to the CPU is you want to try to get them to chase out of zone whenever possible. Get ahead in the count, throw a breaking ball out of zone, try not to throw it in the zone. Get them to chase out of zone, especially in some of these missions they're a little bit more comfortable with swinging out of zone, and it'll help you out a little bit when completing these. See, I missed my spot there. Threw that right down the middle. Rest in peace. If you don't complete them, don't make a big deal. They're just there to help you. We're going to keep on going through all this. Now we got to beat Shane Green, get a 2-run deficit. So this is your first taste on facing a showdown boss. You're down 2-0. You have 10 outs remaining. You got to score 3 runs. So again, remember, you only have 10 outs to make. You cannot waste outs. You really got to be patient. Wait for your right pitch. Wait for a mistake over the heart of the plate. And that's really the way to hit in this. If you swing too aggressively, those outs go away like that. The pitcher's confidence goes up. Best thing you can do is work the pitch count. Get the pitcher to hopefully miss a spot or even walk you. Wait for the perfect pitch. And I just missed that one because I was talking to you guys while swinging there. All right, so there we go. We got 1 run. Now we just got to take the lead and win it. Oh, God. Absolutely rolled that over. Again, just too impatient. All right, that was one I could have hit. But again, let's just wait for our spot. Get that pitch count up. All good. That's it right there. GG's. Now we got that showdown done. We get another 42 series player. Which one do we want to use? Honestly, again, a lot of these guys don't have too crazy power. Again, there's no wrong decision with a lot of these 42 guys. I'm going to go for Santander. I really like his swing. He's a switch hitter too, which is super valuable. We're going to put Santander on the squad. Put him at second base. It really doesn't matter. And there's the team. Again, we're going to move Santander up. We're going to hit him clean up. Floyd 5th. Conforto 6th. Gary 7th. Now the lineup just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm going to keep on adding guys to the team. There it is. Bang. All right, so now we're moving on to the final showdown. So since we failed a couple missions, we only got up to 8 runs. But that is definitely more than fine. It's definitely not bad. We have a lot of good hitters. We're going to even add another good hitter. 15 outs to score 4 runs is really not that bad, especially against these last pitchers. They aren't really too stressful. Here we'll go for Andrew McCutchen. Significant exit velocity boost while losing. This is going to be great for this final showdown. Since we start off behind in the game, this is going to help us get higher exit velocities when losing. We're going to hit the ball harder. So we're going to go for that. Now he's got to beat Sixto Sanchez. We got to score 5 runs in 15 outs. This really isn't as bad as you think. The key thing with going into the final showdown is relaxing. Don't get stressed out because showdown doesn't take too long anyway. Wait and be patient at the plate. Make that pitch count go up and try to wait for pitches over the heart of the plate. If you're not ready for a pitch, don't swing. If you want to sit dead red on a fastball, right down the middle. It's the easiest pitch in the game to hit. They'll eventually throw them to you if you make them work the pitch count more. Just relax, get comfortable, and don't just swing at pitches just because they're pitches or just because they're strikes. Just wait for a pitch down the middle. If you don't see a pitch well, just take the pitch. Don't be afraid to not swing at a pitch just because it's not down the middle. Just because it's down the middle. You are better off taking a pitch you aren't ready for than swinging at it and just giving away an out. You only have 15 outs to work with. But again, we choose hitters with power so you could try to hit homers. Showdown defense, for some reason, is really insane. Fielders always make the craziest plays in Showdown. That has been a theme in the last couple years. So the best thing you could do is get guys with power and try to hit homers. That's the best way you could try to attack at that lead and try to build up runs. Singles and a lot of things won't go as well for you just because it's so much more difficult to get hits to land with this defense. And speaking of the devil, there's a homer. There you go. Sinker right down the middle. If you can get a pitcher's composure and energy down, you're going to be able to complete showdowns, the final showdowns, a lot easier. And we're just going to keep on doing the same thing. Be comfortable, relax the plate, wait for pitches right down the middle, or mistakes like that one. I was all over that one. Now we just tied it up and we have 13 outs left. You got lucky there. Hey, see what I was saying about showdown defense? That's why you don't want to try to play the singles game. You want to try to hit the ball over the fence whenever you can. There it is. Fastball right down the middle. Teoscar Hernandez. And there we go. Another showdown down. We capitalized on all the mistakes he threw by getting that confidence down, working the pitch count, being patient and comfortable with the plate. That is how you beat your final showdowns. So yeah, there we go. There's a Team Affinity showdown done. Hopefully that was a good enough guide to help you guys get through these missions and complete this in the most efficient way. The general gist, in case you want to get a few points, first of all, get all the best bats in there. No matter what their position is, try to get the good bats in there. If you pitch, if it's a pitching moment where you need to get a strikeout or get out of an inning, you may want to consider putting guys at their normal positions. But for anything hitting related, just put the best hitters out there. Try to complete the hitting things before you even have to pitch if you have to. Just get those hitting things done that first inning if possible. Then, if you have the mini boss or the final showdown, the strategy is to make the pitch count go up. Be patient. Wait for mistakes. Fastballs, breaking balls right down the middle. They'll eventually throw them to you. If you swing too much and you swing too eagerly, you're giving them outs. You're raising that confidence and make it so much more difficult to come back. And finally, when you're choosing perks, only choose hitting perks that are the most usable at most times. Try not to use something that's very specific, like in certain counts whenever possible. Just try to find the most useful hitting perks that increase exit velocity or contact or anything like that. in the most wide case scenario. So yeah, that is going to be it. I appreciate all you guys watching this video. If you have any questions on your showdowns or anything like that, leave a comment down below. I appreciate you all watching. Like the video if you enjoyed and learned something new. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all on the next one. Deuces.